Good afternoon, students. This is Mrs. Strombeck here with a great lesson on how to hard boil an egg. For Lab 3.04, you guys need some egg whites, which is pure protein, and we have to make sure we get those prepared just perfectly. So here today I have my locally grown farm fresh eggs. You're going to need 2 of them, by the way. And with the help of the ever so popular Betty Crocker, this would be my 40-year-old cookbook, I have a great recipe for how to boil eggs foolproof. So here goes. First, notice I have a lab coat on. You guys have your wonderful K-12 aprons that you'll want to wear for this lab, and it doesn't hurt to wear them as you're boiling an egg too. I have my goggles on. Yours might look a little different. And it's also important to wear your rubber gloves. So make sure you have those on. Amanda, do you have my other rubber glove?
Oh, it's on the floor.
Amanda is my camera assistant today, so she's going to wave to you right now. Hi, Amanda. She is homesick from school today, as you can hear her coughing, and she's not going to show her face because she says she looks nasty. Okay, so here are our eggs, and what you want to do, remember, you need 2 eggs. Grab them from your refrigerator and find a kettle that you can boil them in. One that has a cover would be the best. So here I've got water, just tap water out of my sink, not real hot, not real cold, and notice that my eggs are covered in water with a little bit extra to spare, maybe up to an inch or so. I put my cover on my eggs and I take them over to my stove, and here's the deal. All you have to do is turn your burner on high, and the goal is to get this water to boil as quickly as you can. So again, I've got my stove on high, my cover on, and the point is to get this to boil real quickly. And with the magic of webcam world, that water is already boiled, and I'm going to turn my stove off. Immediately when I see it boiling vigorously, turn my stove off and put my kettle on a burner that is cool or at room temperature. Okay, so now I've got my pot of eggs just sitting here on my stove on the burner that is not hot, and I'm going to set the timer on my oven for, or my stove top I should say, for 22 minutes. That's the key, people, 22 minutes. So use your stove timer. There's a stopwatch in your lab kit, or use your cell phone, whatever works for you. Set the timer 22 minutes. That's key. All right. As these 22 minutes pass, you can do your student guide for biology. That would be a good idea. And once again, with the magic of a webcam, those 22 minutes have already gone by. Timer beeps, beep, beep, beep. Turn the timer off, and my eggs are ready to be cooled. So they're sitting here. They're actually cooking for 22 minutes in this boiling water, which of course isn't boiling once you set it on a cool burner. So take my cover off, have a spoon handy, and here I have a bowl of cool water. I would say not ice cold, but cool or cold from the sink. All right, and what I want to do in order to get my eggshells to cool quickly is put the egg ever so gently in the water. Again, letting them cool enough so you can handle them and peel the shell off. So I'm going to clean up my workstation a little bit. Here again, I have my eggs. Another few things you're going to need for this lab are a cylinder. Looks like this. Incidentally, you're going to use 5 different test tubes with 5 different chemicals. We'll talk about that in Class Connect. But for the most part, you're going to fill your graduated cylinder up to the 10 millimeter mark. So Amanda's going to give you an up-close shot. There's 10 millimeters. or milliliters, excuse me. This is a 25 milliliter plastic cylinder that's in your K-12 kit. This isn't real important with this lab that you have a perfect 10. The liquid should curve and hit the 10 milliliter mark, but if it's not quite perfect for this lab, that is okay. All right, I think these eggs have cooled. What do you think, Amanda?
Yep.
Amanda says yes, so we are going to, your actually lab directions say a cutting board. I'm going to use the ever popular pizza pan. I am going to use a knife rather than a scalpel. You have a cool scalpel in your kit as well. But anyway, the cool thing about these is they are now cool, and through the magic of webcam, whoosh, I am quickly taking my egg, and here's one little trick too if you want to know if it's hard boiled or not. Shake it up to your ear, and if you don't hear the slosh slosh of the yolk, you know that it's hard cooked. So no slosh of yolk, it ain't no joke, your egg is then cooked. Okay, so take your egg and gently just kind of crack it or tap it on a bowl or wherever you need to just to kind of get it to start to crack. And this one isn't quite cooked yet, so I'm going to use my cooked one and peel off the egg white or eggshell. And just put your shells wherever. And this lab, it's important that you use just the egg white. So most of you know the egg yolk is the fat part of the egg. We just want the protein. So your job now is to take your table knife or whatever you want to use and have only the whites, not the yolk. Now remember, you have 2 eggs. I just have 1 here, but you want to chop them up so that they can fit in your narrow test tube. And this isn't real important again, but when you chop these up, you're going to have 5 test tubes, so try to divide up your whites into 5 equal parts. You don't need to weigh or measure, but about 5 little piles. And then this is a vial. Your teacher never gets materials. You have a test tube, which I'll show you in the lesson. I'm putting them in a vial just so you can see that I have my egg whites. If you want, you can use a stirring stick because your opening will be more narrow. Shove it in there, chop it around, and add your appropriate solutions, like I'm going to do here. This is the sodium bicarbonate solution and egg white. And you're going to have to let this sit for 48 hours because the idea is that these egg whites are going to digest over time. And when I say digest, you saw the video, that means they're going to break down. So we're simulating your stomach here. And one other thing you are going to have to use is your pH paper. So notice your pH paper. Here's one side has nothing. The other side has little numbers on it. That represents pH. The higher number, get this, is a basic, meaning not very acid. And your lower number is acidic. So let's just see, 48 hours have passed. We dip this in to our solution. I believe the directions say hold it for about 2 minutes because I want to let the water run up the side here, or you can just submerge it completely in water, and then you are going to have to read the number here. So whichever color seems to brighten up the best or to show a change in, that is the pH. And this one, well, let's see, let me do that one more time. Amanda, you see the letter or the number 8 getting nice and dark? Mm-hmm. She says, yep. And I don't know how well this shows up in the camera, but you can see that number 8 is starting to change a darker green, and voila, this is a pH of 8. All right, kids, that's the end of your cooking lesson for today. Make sure you look at the Class Connect PowerPoint, read your student guide, and you need to start cooking some eggs. 2 eggs, any size eggs will do. Boil them correctly and you'll get some fine lunch that looks like this. Thanks and have a great day.